um, into that car and was qualifying. All you saw was just her head was down, gripping the wheel. I mean, it was just cool. I'm still trying to figure out, trying to run through my head
Right
why
now
this,
we're good.
Yeah, just it's Joel's deal. So Joel sucks.
Really, Josh? You want to go there? Really?
Listen, maybe.
Oh God.
Okay,
I
talk
can
now,
see.
Joel.
Okay. How about now?
Now I don't hear it in the background. It's perfect. There
Do
you
it
go.
again.
How about now?
There
Mic
you
check.
go.
Okay.
All right.
Done.
Okay. See.
All right, dialed in.
We fought the demon and won.
Had to change
Just
the left
a
rear
little-
spring.
There we go.
A little left rear spring change. That's all it was.
It was, right?
Yep.
I mean, Whitehouse knows about left rear springs, right?
Yep.
And right front springs.
That was good.
So
Oh,
13
geez.
people qualified for the 4B class. Now, going into this class, Rob Free, 816 points over Tyler Owen, 776 points. Okay? When it comes down to it, William Wolf was in third. He sat there and he came in with 764 points. Listen to fast time.
This is 4Bs.
This is the 4Bs. Tyler Owen would qualify with a 16.836, right? And would literally be the person once again to dominate when it came to the same end.
Fast.
In the 4Bs, I mean, by a dominance of Tyler Owen, he would be the one on display once again. William Wolf in the 8 car
Yep.
would be the leader at first. And on lap 4, Tyler Owen would battle on the inside to take it over. Starting second row on the outside, Owen set a wicked pace. Listen to this. You want to hear this is going to be the craziest thing. 0 cautions.
What?
0 cautions
In the
this
4B
race.
feature?
In the 4B feature, 25 laps.
And how many cars started?
13.
No cautions.
No cautions.
Job well done.
It was incredible. As he started on the outside, he would then first go to the start finish line. Owen, this is his 7th win of the season.
Mm-hmm.
7th win.
Yep.
I mean, this guy. Okay, but listen to this too. Is that last week at St. Helens, blew a motor, blew that very, very fast motor. Everything else, right? Travis Cook says, "Hey man, I got another motor sitting in my shop. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring your car because that's where he leaves his car. Bring your car over." They literally swapped the motor out. 2 a.m. They finally got it bolted in, ready to go, somewhat started, and then went back in the morning, restarted it, got everything nut and bolted, out to the track.
Won the main.
Was the fast time too. I mean, this car is on fire. It's flat hooked up. Micro 600 restricted.
Okay, let's talk
Okay.
about that because I got
Now-
something to say about this.
Now
when we're
remember, this is championship night.
done. Mm-hmm.
Okay, KC Star a 14.777
Jackpot.
fast time. In the 600 restricted open or restricted class, it would be Lane Taylor taking care of business. Man, this kid, he could barely see over our little 4-foot victory lane, banner. But this
Yeah, he's
kid,
knee high to a short duck.
this kid is the 4L, man, is just, this kid is just awesome. I mean, he would take care of business. He would lead all but the first lap. It was Tyler's 5th trip to victory lane. Just an extreme year for this kid. He's getting better and better each time that he's come out.
You're talking about Lane Taylor.
Yeah.
Fast Lane
He's
Taylor.
he's incredible. This kid is just and he's like another, Jesse Slotfield and everything else. He goes up to the high side and that's where he runs. But that car can go anywhere it wants. He's just, it's
Well,
incredible.
it's got something to do with the talent in the seat.
There's a lot of talent.
There
in the
sure
seat.
is.
So check this out. Second, KC Star. And on top of that, she was pulling double duty. She was running also in the opens. Macy Logden, 3rd. Mason Denis, 4th. David Ward would be 5th. Tyler's win, it would be enough for him to win the 2016 championship and the first at Sunset Speedway for him.
So it's Lane Taylor's first championship there.
Lane Taylor.
Very cool.
Very first championship. You talk about
So-
he did the wing dance and everything else. He climbed on the back of the car.
Good.
It was cool to see. That kid was very, very ecstatic.
That's awesome.
His dad and everything were. You could
Was it
tell
a little
that
emotional down there? Was it good?
it was good.
Yeah.
But it was cold, and I'll get into that a little bit because we had a packed crowd.
It's something that we talked about. Off
Oh
the
my
air.
God. Okay,
Josh
so-
was saying how cold it was.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
it was. I should have wore long johns because it was almost by like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You started seeing people leave. I mean, we had a nice little crowd. You know, I mean, the grandstands and stuff are full once again, and that's what I'll give to Sunset Speedway is the grandstands and stuff this year have been really, really full. It's been awesome.
Yeah, you guys have had a good year up there.
But man, by 9 o'clock, dude, it was freezing.
Dude, it was the same way down here, too.
It was cold. It was cold, man.
I don't know what happened. I mean, I was sitting there and I was literally waiting for the snow to start falling.
Right?
I was sitting outside and I'm sitting there in pants. I've got, a fleece over a sweatshirt. I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me?
Oh, it was.
This is where?
Down in Brownsville.
Yeah, it was just
No,
crazy.
it was bad. I was sitting there looking for Santa. It was bad.
So by the time, I mean, it was so bad, and I'll talk about, because the sprint cars and stuff will be my last that I talk about. But I mean, they are giving those guys at least 9 warm-up laps because running
Just gives them
methanol
heat
and
in the
everything.
engine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just trying to get heat in the engine. It was just that cold. By the time we were down there, I mean, the wind was up. It was taking our banners. It was taking the
Wow.
Victory Lane
Oh,
banner.
yeah.
I mean, it was awesome. And then watching little Lane Taylor trying to hold on to this thing and not fly away, it was awesome. I told him, I said, well, that just gives you your championship right there. So, excuse me, 600 opens. Jeff Little, man, this dude's fast too. A 13.912.
That's cruising.
That's close to
Wow.
70 miles an hour.
That's getting around
at
pretty
Sunset
darn
Speedway.
good.
Yeah. Jeff Little, he would be the man with the speed at the main event. Little would get to the front, but it would be a Jeff and Jeff show. Jeff Broadwell and Jeff Little.
No, 4B.
Okay, now remember,
Jeffrey Broadwell. That's bad news right there.
Now remember, again, championship night, right? And Broadwell came into it basically. I mean, he was the man to beat. I mean, you couldn't have taken the championship away from knowing going into the main event he was going to be it anyways.
Finish and win it.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
starting park. I mean he would have came out with championship, but in him, he's
That's
got
not
Casey
how
Starr
Broadwell-
and
yeah.
those
No,
guys.
no,
I mean
no.
those guys are working on that car now. He was just bad fast. Wasn't bad fast enough for Little to take the victory. So listen to this. Jeff Broadwell, he would lead on lap number 5. I'm sorry, my bad. Little would lead. Broadwell then at lap number 5 would take the lead and not look back. It was just stupid. It would be the second time
So how many laps was the feature up there for those guys?
for these guys. I believe it was 25.
25 laps.
25 laps.
Broadwell led 20 of the 25.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or actually Little. Sorry.
Okay, so
Sorry,
Little.
Little did. Yeah. Broadwell finished second. It was Little's second win of the year there
Okay.
at Sunset.
And Broadwell has how many?
I think Broadwell has 3.
I was gonna say 3 or 4.
Yeah,
I thought it was 4.
if I
but-
remember right, I have to look back, but yeah, he's 4 cars started only, but I mean it was a Jeff and Jeff show. I mean those guys.
Good race between the two?
they had awesome race.
Good.
The heat race, they were literally side by side for 8 laps.
Wow.
You didn't know who was
Jeez.
going to win. Yeah, they started side by side and finished side by side. You didn't know who was going to win. It was
That's
it
good
was a cool
racing.
show. Broadwell would finish second. Casey Starr third. Doug Pirtle would finish fourth. Justin McConville, he'd finish fifth. At the end of the race, of course, Jeff Broadwell would declare the 2016 champion, and it'd be his first at Sunset Speedway also.
Man, you've had a lot of firsts this year.
We did. I mean, there was a lot of people and stuff that did and did not show up. At the beginning of the year, you had a lot of 600 opens. You had a lot of 600 restricteds because they run, other tracks. They run Deming mostly. They only came down when it was really when Deming wasn't running, they would come down.
Mm-hmm.
Little, Broadwell, Casey Starr, those guys all live close
yeah.
down here, so they're not going to travel the 4.5 hours up
Right.
there to try to win a championship. They'll travel down here. It's the same, it's the same racing, and they like racing down here at Sunset. I mean, it's just it's good hard racing when they have a bunch of
Oh,
cars.
absolutely.
So while we're on the subject of Casey Starr, I wanted to send a shout out to those guys. She had successful surgery today. For those people that have been following, she's had some issues in the stomach area, digestive, whatever it may be, colonitis, whatever it is. But she had a surgery done today, and things were, I was told, successful, and that's good news.
I
Glad to
wasn't.
hear
I
she's
wasn't.
all right.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring up anything just because I didn't know, but that is really good news.
It is. I'm glad to hear it. 'Cause she's been, people don't know this about her all season long. She's
been battling this.
Her health has been an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to talk about a tough girl? She says, you know what, sick or not, give me the helmet and the gloves. We're going racing.
You would never tell when she drives it.
I know it.
You would never tell. I mean, she's so focused and she's so that good that you would really never tell that anything was bothering her. And it's almost like when she gets strapped in, and I'm sure we all can relate and everything
Well,
else.
it's therapeutic. I mean, you've
It's
been there,
very
James has been there,
therapeutic.
we've all been there, and one sense or the other, getting to the racetrack, get your mind off the rest of the world. You're
Right.
in your world, you're in your zone, doing your thing, and that's how it was, on the 3rd when you were down there helping me at the Iron Giant.
Dude, the Iron Giant was awesome.
just that was the day that the 3-year anniversary of my dad passing away, and I couldn't wait to get to the track just because it gave me something else to focus on.
Right, and me down there too, just
And
being
then,
ridiculous.
So I understand. I understand where she's coming from. I think you do too, Josh.
Yep.
But, we just want to send a shout out to Casey, and glad to hear she's doing well, and her family, Ron and Summer, her parents, and things are good for the the 13 Star Car. Glad to hear it.
It is. I'm very excited and stuff that she's doing okay. Hoping that she can make it for the indoor.
Oh, she'll be there.
I mean, if she's
You'd have to cut her hands off to keep her out of the indoor.
Yeah, if she's anywhere, the trooper that I know she is, she'll definitely be inside that cage cart this year. Mm-hmm. So I got some news for
her. Nickname is Sugar, but there's not a whole lot of sweet about her on the racetrack. And she'll
Oh,
go
man,
door to door with you.
That's the truth.
She will do it.
Dude.
I have some news about Salem Indoor. And
Let's talk about it.
No. I'll talk about it at the end.
All right, let's get on with your sunset because I didn't mean to interrupt. I just want to throw that out there for the Star family and let them know that Moxie Media is thinking about him, and we're glad that Casey's well.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Josh. I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy. Go ahead.
No, you're all good. So let's go into the dwarf cars. Listen to how many showed up. 30.
30 dwarfs.
What? Okay, so when I did
that is a field right there.
Listen, when I did my walkthrough, I saw a bunch of them, and I'm like, okay, so we were supposed to also have this class called Bump to Pass. Never even showed up, and I have no clue even who was going to be in this, what was going to be in this, what type of cars are going to be in this, anything. I'm thinking, jalopios are going to be in the infield, blah, blah. So I talked to Nikki, and Nikki says, I talked to actually Justin. Justin says, well, they're like 4B cars. And then, of course, they're like, what we used to do at Portland used to be Bump to Pass.
Right.
And then, there's like 2 or 3 left, and then you throw the checkered flag and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, well, this is cool.
And then they got online, went on YouTube, watched Sunset video, and said, nah, we're not going there.
Dude, because it's all Bump to Pass.
It is.
No matter what class you're in, it's all Bump to
yeah,
Pass.
absolutely.
It is.
So
I love it.
So the deal was that no Bump to Pass showed up. At the beginning of the season and stuff, they were supposed to show up, and we got rained out. I was actually really looking forward to it. I was actually looking forward to it tonight, or on Saturday night, too. I'm thinking, all right, this is kind of cool. This is kind of going to break up the monotony, blah, blah, kind of give, a little bit of cheer to the fans, whatever. I mean, we haven't seen these guys, and, yeah, they didn't show up. So I don't know who I have to call to have them back out, because I kind of want to see it, you know what I mean? So, and I asked him, I said, what is the deal? I asked Justin, I said, what's the criteria? How are they going to run this? He goes, he says, we're going to put water barrels out on the track to slow them down, and we're going to fill them with water, and then we're going to go ahead and in different spots of the track, we're going to go ahead and take the water truck, and we're going to dump a bunch of water out there. And I looked down at him, I said, you do realize that we have dwarfs, we have sprint cars, we have micro. You guys crazy right now? Like, so you're
just crash car show.
Yeah, I said you're gonna sit there and you're gonna soak the track. I said it's gonna be dry slick. Then you're gonna sit there and spot water on it. So you're gonna sit there and have the sprint cars with the big tires. You're gonna have the micros and stuff, with open wheel. Then you have the dwarfs with open wheel. How is this gonna work? He goes, oh. No clue, dude.
No,
he says it's your guess as good as mine. And I sat there and I said, I said, you know what? I said, my guess right now, I don't think they're going to show up. And they didn't. I mean, they didn't show up. And I mean, not that I'm, like, hey, cool, but I mean, it is what it is. And thank God they didn't show up, because I was talking to some of the sprint car guys, and we're going to get into like Lindsey Barney, and I told Lindsay, and she's like, what? Huh? And she just looked at me and her dad, too. He's all sitting there like, what? I'm like, hey, dude, that's the information I'm getting. So thank God they didn't come. Track was awesome. Track was smooth, man. Track was way smooth. Way smoother than I thought it was going to be. It was classic. So, dwarf cars, 30-lap main event. 30 cars show up. 16 start.
16 car feature.
16 start.
Okay.
Jimmy Brinster, 15.655, fast time.
Brinster with fast time.
Listen, yeah, and that
Interesting.
2 car. Okay, this is going to be very interesting once you hear who wins and who finishes 7th.
Let's talk about it, man. This has been kind of the hot class that we've really talked. I mean, not that we really talk about from Sunset, but it's been one of the classes we've talked a lot about because of the competition level in the dwarf cross.
Yeah, it's the difference of what's going